All right, stop. Skip it up and that up. So Unity is a very popular game engine that's used for mobile games, console games, PC games. It's very prevalent. As a matter of fact, the game I'm playing right now, which this upcoming week I plan to play on live stream, you're going to roll your eyes when you hear it, but shut your mouth before you play it. I thought the same thing, is Power Wash Simulator. I'm not kidding. It is one of the most enjoyable and satisfying games I've played in a very long time. And you clean stuff with a power hose. I'm not kidding. Link below to my RTU Streams live stream channel. It's a ton of fun. But my point being is that Unity is an insanely popular engine, and it's used for plenty of... There's probably games you're playing right now that you may not even realize use Unity. Well, Unity has been under flack for a couple reasons. Recently, we found out that they merged with a company called IronSource. Now, you want to know what kind of company IronSource is? Have you ever tried to download, maybe for my PC guys out there, if you're looking for like temperature monitoring for your CPU, or if you're looking to get like ADA64, or if you're looking to whatever piece of software you need, you ever notice that it's like, hey, click here for your download in this hddownload.net, or it automatically, before you even download the actual software that you want, some other piece of software downloads. Well, that's essentially malware. And if you click on OK for any of this software, which again is really malware, you'll get a whole bunch of like crap that gets installed on your computer, which will constantly nag you to try to get this generic driver software, get this, or this is out of date. It's very intrusive. That is the company that Unity has just merged with. A company that puts really crappy, annoying software on your computer that is basically considered a virus. That was a real... There must have been a big check, or someone made a really stupid decision, or both. Well done, Unity.
You blew it.
Well, for people out there who follow the gaming industry, you probably remember this name, John Riccitiello. Remember that? He used to be the CEO of EA. Now he's the CEO of Unity. And he was actually talking to PocketGamer.biz, and he had an extremely hot take on game developers that don't embrace microtransactions. This is what he had to say. This comes from PCGamer.com. I'll read it to you, then we'll discuss. Ferrari and some other high-end car manufacturers still use clay and carving knives, Riccitiello said in a reference to developers who resist monetization efforts. It's a very small portion of the gaming industry that works that way, and some of these people are my favorite people in the world to fight with. They're the most beautiful and pure, brilliant people. They're also some of the biggest idiots out there. Meaning because they resist making more money off of their games by shoehorning a whole bunch of microtransactions in there. Now, of course, a lot of game developers were very annoyed at John Riccitiello for saying this, and he got backlash. Here are some tweets that were talking about John Riccitiello's very hot take on microtransactions. Someone wrote, "I strongly disagree with John Riccitiello. What that scumbag doesn't realize is some people simply enjoy making games for fun, or to educate, or to share a thought, idea, or experience. Those creators and games are absolutely valid, and their process should not be condemned." I wouldn't say he was condemning them. He was just... It was a hot take. No, he shouldn't have said that, but he's basically saying they're leaving money on the table, which he's right and wrong about, if that makes any sense. Another game developer wrote, "John Riccitiello thinks I'm an idiot. I think he's a little greedy capitalist pig who only cares about money. I'm so tired of people like him ruining things I love." And it continues here, "Come on, game dev Twitter. Why are we pretending that we're only now just realizing that John Riccitiello is the evil CEO that he is? We've known this for decades. The dude ran EA. EA! Do better." Now, these are some of John's follow-up comments to that to give a little more context, and it's not as hot of a take, so this is what he should have said and not said the idiots part, but let's continue. "It used to be the case that developers would throw their game over the wall to the publicists and Salesforce with literally no interaction beforehand," Riccitiello said. "That model is baked into the philosophy of a lot of art forms and medium, and it's one that I'm deeply respectful of. I know their dedication and care. But this industry divides people between those who still hold to that philosophy and those who massively embrace how to figure out what makes a successful product. And I don't know a successful artist anywhere that doesn't care about what their player thinks. This is where the cycle of feedback comes back, and they can choose to ignore it, but to choose to not know it at all is not a great call. Now, John Riccitiello said this on Twitter and gave an apology, but he also said it was clickbait. Kind of wasn't, John. You said what you said. It wasn't really taken out of context. You added more to it, but that was how you should have worded it. The first part shouldn't have been there. So, well, you said it. It's not clickbait. If you said it, it's not clickbait. But anyway, clickbait out of full context. Deeply sorry if what I said offended any game dev. Absolutely love the people that make games. Creative, hard work. Hashtag Unity. And of course, after he said that, he got a lot of flack on Twitter from game developers and the community because John, you still said what you said. It's not really... You said it nicer later on, but that's how you should have said it in the beginning. Now, one thing that bothers me, I know there's different markets of people out here, and trust me, I'm going to talk about that because as harsh as John Riccitiello was, and it's weird that his company merged with a shady malware company, let's see how that goes. He's not completely wrong, but he's not completely right either. The first example I'm going to bring up, and it's a perfect one, is Elden Ring. There is no microtransactions in Elden Ring. I'm sure there's going to be DLC, but that game, as of May 2022, sold 13.4 million copies. I think that From Software is making some coin. That's just me, but there's still a market for single-player games. God of War 2018 has sold 19.5 million copies, and that number's not that old. That's from January 15th, 2022. So there's money to be made with single-player games that don't have microtransactions. But on the flip side, to say, yes, a lot of the industry, including me, and a lot of the gaming community, including me, hate microtransactions, but we're not the community that watches my videos and watches other YouTubers and are in this gaming community aren't the market for the microtransaction games. And you know what? Even Diablo Immortal, which is just destroyed with microtransactions. It is a ruined game for microtransactions, is making a killing for Activision Blizzard. Here is what Activision made in 2021 just from microtransactions alone. You ready for this one? $5.1 billion. $5.1 billion. So we can complain about microtransactions all we want to. We could cry about them. We could be angry. And yes, I agree that they ruin most games that they touch. I am with you on that. But numbers don't lie. That's the reality of it. And even though we are not going to play games with microtransactions, there are plenty of people that are scooping up these microtransactions, these stupid-ass skins for games and whatever else, the pay-to-win games. They're buying them because Activision Blizzard in 2021 made let that sink in your head how much money that is. That is an insane amount of money just from microtransactions. The money is green whether people are complaining or not. Do you think they're going to stop when they're making that much money? Diablo Immortal, let's go into that. Diablo Immortal, in its first month, okay, everyone ripped that game apart. It is a rip-off. What are they saying now? You could pay up to $500,000 to fully upgrade your character in Diablo Immortal. Initially, it was like over $100,000. Total pay-to-win, microtransaction-riddled garbage. First month, they almost made $50 million in revenue from a game that everyone universally can't stand. But you know who's playing it? Not us. People who don't care. They just want to play it. If they want to put money in it, they're going to put money into it. You know what? People are, because the numbers don't lie. They're right here. So look, do I think what John Riccitiello said is disrespectful? Yes, I do. There is still a huge, I just proved it with God of War 2018's numbers, Elden Ring, and there's plenty more examples out there, that there is a huge market for single player, non-microtransaction riddled games. There absolutely is. And those numbers don't lie either. But he has a point about microtransactions. Yeah, they are most of the gaming community and a lot of the gaming industry, minus executives and the companies making money hand over fist, don't like them. Game developers don't really seem to be a fan of them either. But as long as people keep supporting microtransactions and keep buying stuff and companies are making huge profits from microtransactions, no matter how angry we are, the numbers don't lie. And people are scooping them up and paying for these things in games. So why are companies going to stop putting microtransactions in games if they're making money hand over fist by putting them in there? So John Riccitiello was disrespectful, but he's also telling the truth. I understand that people love their artistry and people are passionate about the games they develop, and I agree. And I don't want microtransactions in my games. But there's people out there that are obviously willing to invest in them. There's people out there that are spending the money on them. So what are companies in business for? They're in business to make money. Yes, obviously you have to be passionate about what you make, but why would you turn this away if people are supporting it financially? It makes no sense. I know this may not be a popular take, but I have to go by statistics and facts and what people are actually buying. And people are definitely supporting microtransactions, whether you and I like it or not. And that's just how it goes. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.